What's up, guys? I'm Jaden Stevens, and I'm joined with,
Devin Ortega.
Jacob Roden.
and welcome to the All My Friends Are Warriors podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about someone who has inspired our club of characters, someone who we all look up to, someone who we've read about, a historical figure, Miyamoto Musashi.
One of the greatest samurais to ever live. And not just a samurai, but a Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before we get into anything, let's actually explain what a Ronin is. I mean, Jacob, I know you like to explain that type of stuff. So
I'll go ahead.
That.
So a Ronin is essentially a masterless samurai. So someone is training someone to become a samurai, and it may happen they die or they disown the clan, or whatever happens. But so the trainer of the person who's trying to become a samurai will disown their clan. We'll just say that happens, and then now they are a Ronin. They're no longer are trained by that master, so then they're now a masterless samurai, which is a Ronin. And that's what a Ronin is.
Yeah, I wonder if is there a name for someone who just doesn't have a sensei at all, like someone who just trains herself, Tazio. If you would like to, just self-taught.
You can be self-taught.
Okay.
But, I don't think you'd be considered Ronin if you never.
No.
Had a
If you
master
never had a-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trained by someone to be a samurai in the first place.
When I first heard of the word Ronin, I originally thought that it was like a rank, like as a samurai, like as a fighter. But then I learned to know that it's actually what you said. It's when you're, the person who's training you to become a samurai ends up somehow either they die or they just get kicked out of the clan or something like that. Then that is what makes you a Ronin. And so honestly, the thing about with Miyamoto Musashi, because he was a Ronin, he ended up becoming one of the greatest, swordsmen of all time. And so I think it's pretty cool that he was able to kind of keep on going without himself. That's the cool thing about all Ronins is that they keep on going. They don't stop.
Well, not all Ronins.
Yeah.
Some Ronins turn out, because once you become a Ronin, you're not technically by law forced to follow Bushido and that code.
Yeah.
So with Miyamoto Musashi, it was kind of cool because he continued to follow it on a virtuous path rather than flipping the script and
Yeah,
changing.
it aligns with his, I think, the 21st rule of his Dokido to not stray from the way.
Yeah.
And the way was to continue training, to continue being a Ronin, and that's him not straying from the way.
Yeah, being consistent and
Yeah, we can let's
honorable.
actually talk about the way for a second, because the way is, you kind of think of yin and yang. And when you think of yin and yang, that's like Tao. It's Chinese, it's China. But, all things, characters, one big circle, and there's a bunch of different things. So, Bushido is going to have a little bit of, Taoism. Taoism is going to have a little bit of Bushido. It's kind of like when we look into the book of the 5 rings, there's the 4 elements, the fire, water, earth, wind. And at the end, there's the void, which is kind of everything that's kind of mixed together.
yeah.
So that's the cool thing about all these philosophies, but especially, Bushido. Bushido, you got death before dishonor, and Miyamoto Musashi was really big on that, and so I think that's cool.
Yeah, one of Miyamoto Musashi, one of his rules in the Dokido, I don't remember it word for word, but it was basically about death before dishonor. And a lot of his way was kind of formed from Bushido and the code they
Exactly.
followed.
Well, yeah, Miyamoto Musashi had to be big on death before dishonor, because he was around 60, somewhere in the 60s. Were how many people he killed before he died. And first of all, that's just
Single combat.
in single combat,
A 1v1.
a duel 1v1. And honestly, that KD is crazy. 62 and 0.
60, yeah, about
Yeah.
62 and 0.
That's crazy. That's better than any Call of Duty. I mean, unless you got Seabass on Call of Duty Mobile, just shredding people. But no, in real life, that's crazy.
Definitely.
And the thing about Miyamoto Musashi is, you got all these not senseis, but samurais. And when you think of a samurai, you think, just one sword. At least most of the time,
Yeah,
not
they usually have the katana.
Yeah, if you're just a broadly educated, human being, samurais, they have katana. But there's a bunch of different swords. There's the katana, There's what's that one sword that the Kensei has? The big long sword. It's like way bigger than a katana.
Nodachi/Odachi.
Nodari slash odachi.
Odachi, yeah.
Odachi, yeah. So there's the katana, the odachi. There's the
Wakizashi,
the wakizashi,
Tanto.
the tanto.
Basically their dagger.
Yeah, like the dagger. And then
Tell them what a Tonto blade is, like the edge of it.
so basically the tanto blade is what you'll find right here. The tanto blade. Basically, you're gonna find that on a lot of Japanese weapons.
Well, I mean, it's basically the end of a katana.
Yeah, it's like the angle,
Or
like
not
the
end of. I mean, some.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the end of a
like-
katana, but on a smaller.
Yeah, it's your
dagger.
it's usually
Like-
like your typical like angle. I mean, unless you have a sword right here where it's kind of like not a triangle, but I don't know the tip of that name. Anyways, but yeah, he was a master of all. He was able to use any of them, but I know that he was really big on the katana and the
Wakizashi.
wakizashi.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
dual wielded them.
Yeah,
I think that kind of set him apart because in fencing, when you parry and then you riposte, it's like boom and then you go in.
yeah, it takes time.
But with Miyamoto Musashi, how he dual wielded and he had the wakizashi in his offhand and then he had the katana in his main hand, he was able to bow
Yeah.
like super fast.
Oh yeah.
And in fencing, sometimes there's room of recovery.
Mhm.
When you get parried, you can kind of slide back, and if you get lucky, you
Mhm.
can block their riposte. But if you're dual wielding, like Miyamoto Musashi, it's just bam, bam.
Mhm.
There's no time to recover.
Yeah, and something that helped Miyamoto Musashi is that he was around 6 feet tall. Not a lot of people actually know that because a lot of
A lot
Ja-
of
I
Japanese
mean, the average height for like a Japanese man is
5'6",
like
5'7". Yeah. So 6 foot. 6 foot in America. That's like, oh yeah, he's
He's pretty
Above
tall.
he's pretty tall.
average,
Not
but-
not the tallest though. Like that's kind of like 5'10" to 6 foot is kind of like the average that you'll get for a man.
Mhm.
But in Japan, that's like freaking huge.
That's giant. He's like
5'7".
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Tazio over here says Godzilla was just a lizard in human form. I'm sorry, I'm
No, he's
saying
just
this
like a-
so badly right now. I have no idea what the joke is. I don't know if it was his joke. This is him, guys. This is him. But what
This
was
is all
it?
Tazio.
Godzilla was just a normal-sized lizard in Japan.
Godzilla was just a normal sized lizard.
Yeah.
in Japan.
Everyone else in
Japan.
Japan is just so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, basically, Miyamoto Musashi was Godzilla. He was so much bigger than everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
His wingspan, his size, his weight, he was much more powerful than all these other guys.
Yeah, he's kind of like me because I'm like around 6 foot.
Yeah.
Except he would obviously like beat me in a fight. Like there's no doubt about it. Like he would slay me. But
yeah, I mean,
why did I
think-
say slay?
Slay.
I don't know why I said slay. I don't know why I said that.
I think him being so tall plays a role into his KD because being tall is going to give you a little bit of advantage if you're fighting people who are 5'7". But then also, yeah, that's like a reason why. But then also, like we were saying, he has two swords, the wakizashi and the
Yeah.
katana. It's so easy to, well, not easy, but it's easier to parry it, and then you could actually repost so much easier. Well, it's not even a repost, right?
I mean, it's still a riposte.
It's like a
Yeah.
counter kind of, right?
It's,
Yeah.
it's still a riposte.
Yeah.
Or repost.
Yeah,
whatever
so
you
I guess
say.
that kind of plays into his KD because he's so much bigger,
Mhm.
and also having the double swords.
Yeah. Well, also something, it didn't help him just physically, it helped him mentally. Because imagine you're this 5'7", Japanese samurai.
God, and you're going against someone
and you're-
so much
and-
bigger
and
than
you're
you.
and you're used to fighting, training against, other 5'7", 5'6" samurai. Then you go up against this freaking giant that you've never seen before, that you've never been taught by, you've never even heard of, and all of a sudden you're just fighting this giant that's really good.
And he's still fast.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
still fast, he's still quick.
God.
Think about Miyamoto Musashi is, like I said earlier, like he has the Book of Five Rings, all four elements, but he was best at the fifth, which is the void, because he knew how to adapt to people. He knew like what type of,
He
fighting style to use in certain situations.
Yeah, definitely. He knew when to use earth. He knew when to use fire. He knew when to use air. He applied it in different situations when in that fight.
Yeah, that's why in our martial arts club, Seabass is really on us. Like he obviously he gives us our elements that he thinks
That would fit us.
that would fit us the most. But the end goal is to be able to use all
like,
elements
yeah.
in one fight. And if that's not possible to use all elements in one fight, like if you're fighting this really big guy that has power for a couple minutes but will just gas out, then you're obviously going to want to be, if you're the smaller guy, obviously you're going to want to be a little bit more air, like in and out,
Distance
taking a couple
management.
shots, getting back out.
Mhm.
So there's sometimes when you can't use all four, but most of the time you are able to use all four
Mhm.
in certain, parts of the fight. So that's what is really special about Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I don't know, I'm guessing Miyamoto Musashi was also like a good like hand fighter, like actually striker.
Yeah.
There's you can talk about this. Just say there was a story of him at 11 years old, like getting angry and grappling or getting up on top and like ground and pounding someone who was bigger than him.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
that-
So at 11 years old, there was a story about him that he
Got mad.
hand-to-hand combat, got mad, ended up grappling and beating the crap out of someone who was bigger than him.
It was like a young teenager versus him at 11 or something.
That's
So the
crazy.
guy was not just bigger, but also older than him.
Yeah, it was like a teenager and he was like 11. There's
Okay.
a story about it.
Dang.
Jeez.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He killed his first person in a duel when he was 13, so that wouldn't be far off from it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, or a lot of kids that are 13 are asking for low taper fades.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
yeah.
cool to ask for a low taper fade, but Miyamoto Musashi will give you a low taper
yeah,
fade.
he'll give
wouldn't,
you
yeah.
a real low taper fade.
What?
He'll cut you up.
Yeah, he'll cut you up for sure.
Maybe talk about, what the hell the 5 rings is.
So basically, what the 5 rings is, this book that we have in the middle right here, the red one, is originally, because there's 4 elements. Originally, it was scrolls,
Yeah.
had a bunch of writing on it, and eventually it got turned into one book, and it got fixed to where like it was more easier.
Translated.
Like yeah,
It's translated. So we
Translated.
can understand it.
yeah, and so it's really cool that we have this in books like this and the Tao Te Ching, translated books that were written from a long time ago, kind of like meditations, like it was his journal, but he didn't write it for a book. He just wrote it because he wanted to write it,
Mm.
Marcus Aurelius. But
Later.
yeah, so the 5 rings, it wasn't a book originally. It was like scrolls.
Yeah, it was different scrolls. Not speaking, but yeah, I guess speaking and talking about the different elements.
Mhm.
There was wind, fire, earth, and water. Then there was void, and they were all just different strategies.
Yeah, well, let's actually talk about like some of the strategies that went into those elements. So, like for example, like water, that was more like adapting, getting through adversity,
Mhm.
trying to
Adapting, deceiving, strategy.
trying to stay calm. Don't let your anger, overcome you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you have like fire, which is think of boxing, like you're
Yeah.
up close.
You're
Well,
up
like
in
Musashi put it.
That Mexican boxing.
As Musashi put it, it was putting the pillow down
Mhm.
and being aggressive and always up in somebody's face,
Mhm.
Fighting in the pocket.
fighting in the pocket. Yeah, passion.
Yeah, and as I say, there's also like words for these certain elements. So you got passion, you have love, you have probably
Passion.
dedications in there. You have the will,
Mhm.
just words like that.
Mhm.
So that's fire. And then you have wind, which is agility.
Agility,
usually
quickness,
meant
in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually meant for like the faster guys, but bigger guys can,
You should
Twinkle
be
toes.
able to, if you're a bigger guy, you should be able to use wind and air style in a fight. But mainly you see it in a lot of skinny. No, well, not skinnier, but like a lot of not
More
as big,
agile.
but yeah, agile people.
Yeah, and then that'll bring us to earth, which is usually for the more bigger guys, kind of like me. Like when I think of myself, I think of myself as a earth, fire first, and then wind and water. But I do try to add water.
You
in.
dabble in a bit of water and
Yeah,
wind.
I dabble in the well. I think I dabble in more water than more wind because like I'm a bigger guy and so I'm able to use my strength to my advantage.
Mhm.
But then there's also water, which is getting through adversity, which everybody needs. And like I was saying earlier, like every philosophy has, a little bit of the other philosophies in it. Same with these elements. Like in fire, you have to have wind because fire, you kind of just want to like beat the guy up and throw as many punches as you can, but you got to be careful because you're gonna get tired
Yeah,
quickly.
you gotta be conservative.
And then in all elements of fighting, you need to have wind. You need to have the air tank. You need to have the air to be able to keep on throwing the punches consistently and not just be a good fighter in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
that's why they're all just strategies. Musashi said, once you see the way, you can see it in all things. He would broadly relate like fighting to being a businessman or a architect.
Yeah, and when you say business, it's people are like, wait, business? Oh, that was a long time ago. No, it wasn't. Like Musashi was only like 4,000 years ago. I know
No,
when
not
I say
even.
well,
No, no.
16, 1500s, we're in the around there.
I'll fact check for you guys.
Around there.
We always got that wrong.
But, oh wait, no, sorry,
No,
not
it'd be like
thousands,
400.
hundreds. Sorry, I was thinking
400-ish.
I was thinking wrong. That's my bad. But anyways, so a lot of people
Not
like
a big math guy, huh?
yeah. No, I have a deep. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't say that on the pod, huh?
I had all A's.
No, I have all A's, but my math
Other
grade's a
than your
little
D.
down. But anyways, yeah. So he wasn't even that long ago. You have an answer?
The 1600s, 423 years ago.
423.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you have
sorry.
it, just not.
Yeah. I was sorry.
The
That's
Roman Empire is like 2,000 ago.
yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
So
Miyamoto
Marcus
Musashi
Aurelius
was
is
the
like
first
2,000.
man on Earth 4,000 years ago.
Yeah. All right. My bad. Another brain fart from Jaden, but it's okay. Anyways, probably get some hate from it, but it's all right. Anyways, so yeah, only about 423 years ago.
423, yeah.
So a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's a long time ago," but if you think of
That
it
was
broadly,
not long
that's
ago.
like not that long ago. So business was becoming a thing. Firearms, like guns, like that's honestly like a big reason why the samurai like stopped being a thing is because guns started coming into play, and the samurai, Japan, they still wanted to have that tradition of the samurai, like so they for a while they fought it off,
Yeah.
but eventually like guns are just so overpowered and no sword can really stop
there
it.
was
The
the
only
main
thing,
group kind of folded to it, and then there was obviously some like samurai still left,
yeah,
but it's just compared to the amount of Japanese that folded and ended up trading for firearms.
wasn't it with the English?
English, Dutch,
Mhm.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
like the European countries.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So they started coming in and making those changes, but still to this day, when you think of Japan, you think of like samurais and like people like Miyamoto Musashi. So there's still that idea when you think of Japan,
I mean,
and you're always gonna have that in Japan because that's what like kind of what Japan originated with.
You can bring up that book. You can bring up Bushido. It says the code of the samurai. I think it says the soul of Japan.
Yeah, it says Code of the Samurai, Bushido, the soul of Japan.
So talk about maybe what Bushido is.
So Bushido, like for me, when I think of Bushido, it's death before dishonor, and
It was basically death before dishonor, and it was the way of the samurai.
Mhm.
It was their
The
warrior philosophy.
Yeah. it's
The
what it's like.
warriors in Japan were
Yeah, it's like what they live by.
samurai. Yeah.
It's like their way,
Mhm.
pretty much. Because there's multiple ways. Like the way is not just one path. The way is the way of character, which there's multiple paths.
Yeah, there's many ways to the top of the mountain. And I
So
think-
for the samurai or the Japanese, it was Bushido.
Mhm.
So
Earlier we had talked about Musashi being a Ronin. We explained a Ronin, but we never really said how Musashi
How
became a Ronin.
how he became.
yeah,
He essentially became a Roman or
Ronin.
a Ronin. God, I feel like Jaden right now.
God.
No, but he became a Ronin through. It was a battle in the 1600s. What was the name of that battle, Taz?
Battle of Sekigara.
The Battle of Sekigara. So in the Battle of Sekigara, he was on the losing end of that battle.
Mhm.
And I mean, imagine being him. He's probably kicking ass, killing
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
His KD, like, what do you think his KD was in that battle?
Jeez, like I don't even know. Much better than I'll ever get. But
Yeah, and he was. I'm sure he was kicking ass, but he was on the losing end.
Mhm.
So his
it's kind of like when you're on the basketball team. You've always been like the best player on your team, and you're 35 points, and we end up losing by 3. It's 38 to like 41 or something like that. or I don't know, but
Yeah, I was like, I'm basically Musashi.
actually
so-
there was a perfect example of that. A couple years ago in 7th grade. Sorry, go off
in
track
the
a second.
Championship.
Game. I was the only person to drop points, and it was 1 3-pointer right before half for a buzzer beater.
Just
But
me and you.
buzzer beater, we still lost by 3. He had like 35 points or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like what 35-38 or 30. So you had 32,
I had 32.
and then I had 3,
you
and
had
it was
3.
35-38. So Devin has always kind of been that player to kind of carry the kind of the team. So relate that to Musashi. You know, everyone else is dying while he's over here
Kicking
kicking
ass.
ass, and taking care of business.
Yeah, and then basically since they were on the losing end, it basically forced their shogun, their leader of their
Mhm.
clan, to
Either-
I don't know if he
either-
just stepped down or committed seppuku
Yeah, either
or
died, committed seppuku, or lost his rank.
lost his rank. Yeah,
Mhm.
any of those, but it forced Musashi to become a Ronin.
What was that guy's name? The guy who was teaching Musashi how to.
I don't know the name of his lord, but
Okay.
I
The
can
clan.
look up the name of his clan. I think it was called the Sinmei. Let me look it up.
Sinmei.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
While Taz is searching that up, we can dive deeper because Musashi, while he was a great samurai, here we have an answer from Taz.
Shin Men clan is where he
Shin
hails
Men
from.
clan.
So he hailed from the Shin Men clan. So while yes, he was a great samurai, hailing from the Shin Men clan, I think his kind of career and his
His legend.
legend kind of sprouted from after
yeah,
when he became a Ronin.
yeah, and well, you have people talking about him all the time. You have people like Joe Rogan who are have tats of him on his
Yeah.
arm, and
Well, I mean, he inspired like a whole bunch of animes. He
Yeah,
inspired the video game characters.
exactly.
He inspired philosophy. He inspired our character
Yeah.
club.
I had a question. I was wondering, like, was Miyamoto Musashi growing up? Was he like, did he go through adversity, like, or like family problems, like not super wealthy? Like, what was his home life like?
Well, considering that both his father and grandfather were samurai who even had their own swordsmanship schools, I would say he wouldn't be struggling money wise because samurai were upper class.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But we also talked about how he got into fights at 11, killed a man at 13, so he wasn't free of adversity when he was young.
So Tazio was saying that his father and his grandfather, they were owners of schools, and so money wise, doing pretty good probably, but
They were samurai as well.
samurai, yeah. So growing up, they weren't doing too bad with economics and stuff, and like being wealthy, but that doesn't mean just because you're wealthy doesn't mean
You don't
Actually-
have other problems
Yeah.
going on.
I
I mean, yeah, Tazio brought up the fact that he was getting into fights at 11, and
hmm So yeah, he
there's
was.
definitely other problems too. So he definitely dealt with adversity growing up for sure.
Yeah.
I will point out, I read I think it said his mom died and he had a stepmom for a while.
Oh.
So his biological mom died when he was
Okay.
young.
So his
So,
his
yeah.
bio mom died when he was young, and he had a stepmom for a little bit.
For a while, yeah.
For a while.
Okay. What happened to her?
It didn't say.
Oh, okay.
She might have just stuck around for the rest of his life.
Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, we don't
So
know.
yeah, so there's definitely adversity in his life. and
100%. Well, I mean, everyone's gonna have a little bit, but I actually didn't know too much about his like home life. I
life.
kind of just knew about the other stuff with all the Ronin stuff and the samurai
Came from
stuff.
a very disciplined background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he came from a very disciplined background.
And yeah, he was brought up as a samurai.
Yeah, so that probably helped him. That goes to show, parents, if you take good care of your kid and you set rules for your kid and discipline him, then I'm not saying he's gonna end up like Miyamoto Musashi, but
62 and 0.
yeah, he could be
He could be
62.
62 and 0.
He could be 62 and 0 legally.
Legally. Yeah, no, he could, as long as you follow a strict code and a way, you'll find success.
Yeah, and so I like how we were able to kind of like bring that all together back to this character thing. There's one circle.
Because he said if you relate the way.
If you
Could-
really, yeah,
because he said
see
if
the
you
way, you can relate it. You can relate the way broadly,
yeah
essentially.
yeah if you can see the way broadly, you can see it in all things. And so
Yeah.
that's something that Seabass has been telling us
Our
for
whole
years.
life,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And so that's honestly something that has helped me because, like, I've said in, prior pods that one of my biggest things is, like, trying to change the perspective on things as much as I can. So if I can see things one way, I can see them, like, as in a learning moment. Like, I can learn from it and not just think bad about it. But also taking my effort in things that I put a lot of effort in and putting it in things that I might not find as fun. But
Yeah.
fun is, fun's not always doing what you want. Fun is doing what you need to do to
Yeah.
become better.
It's like Miyamoto Musashi. He related the way of the sword to being like an architect,
Mm-hmm.
or in his case,
Or a gardener.
Or a gardener.
yeah, or a gardener. And Musashi's case, he was a
Warrior in a garden.
a warrior in a garden. He was a not a
Carpenter.
cartography,
He
but
was
a
a carpenter and he was a calligrapher.
calligrapher. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had many tasks. Like a calligrapher is someone who wrote the
Kanjis.
kanjis
Kanjis.
down,
Yeah.
and that's no easy job. It's a lot easier than write. I mean, I'm sure it was, or sorry, a lot harder than writing like English
English,
down,
yeah.
especially what we write down today.
Yeah.
There's a lot more time and effort put into that, so it definitely wasn't easy. And he had to take the skills that he learned from the way of the sword and kind of apply them to writing down the kanjis.
Yeah. Speaking of kanjis, Sivas, don't you have like a couple different kanjis? Like, don't you have one? I don't know if it's just death or if it's death before
Oh,
dishonor.
the chains, the kanji chains.
The kanji chains. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some necklaces, and one's the kanji of death,
Yeah.
and then one's water, and they also have fire. I'm gonna try to get all the elements. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So they make a bunch of different type of kanjis, but Seabass has some of the elements, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's that word? Calligraphy.
It's just their written
Calligraphy, yeah.
language. Yeah, it's calligraphy is the art of handwriting.
The art of yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So go ahead and say that like that.
Calligraphy is basically the art of handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it was hard to write their kanji. Their language was difficult.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, because it's just it's way different than ours. I'm
Yeah.
sure it was a lot harder. It was
Mhm.
more time consuming for sure.
Yeah, and like something that I've noticed like about different languages, like with writing down and even just speaking. I was watching this video in my human geo class, and it seems like Chinese people and like Japanese people, they have to say like a lot more just to say one word. Like I was reading the subtitles, and it said like, for example, it'll say like, "How was your day?" And that's pretty fast. Like us Americans, we can say that, "How was your day?" pretty fast in like 2 seconds. But in China, they're like talking for, I don't know, like 7, 8 seconds just to say what we can say in like 3 seconds. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because each symbol is one letter, but then that doesn't make sense because then I would have to spell "How was your day?"
Gotta get on Duolingo.
Yeah, I gotta get on Duolingo.
But the bird's dead, I guess.
At least I
Wait,
have
what
some
happened?
experience with different Chinese languages. I took Mandarin classes for a while. A lot of the time, a single kanji can relate one word or concept.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So yeah,
so-
that's what I've always wondered.
What I was saying, you can bring this up. You guys talk about it. I don't know if you guys know, but the Duolingo bird is dead.
Yeah, wait, what happened?
The
I-
Duolingo
died.
bird is dead.
I never heard about that.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Wait, so what happened with that?
I pull up
He
your
just
Instagram
died.
or something that- the profile picture is the bird with X's and I's and a bunch of memes about it.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to learn Japanese,
Yeah,
maybe
you
go
don't
on
get to
Duolingo.
anymore.
I think Duolingo's still active, but the bird's dead or something.
What the hell?
You hear about that?
How would that
You
even
lost
happen?
your
How
you
would that
lost
even
your
happen?
Duolingo streak and the bird died.
Probably died the same way the
Oh, wait,
Playstation
yeah.
guy died a while back.
Look at.
What? The?
Is this even? Yeah, this is the red account. That's
He
interesting.
tried to duel Musashi.
You tried to make Musashi 62-1, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. You know what's crazy? One of his fights, he fought with a bokken, which is basically just a wooden samurai sword.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who did he fight? It was
His actual name is Sasaki Kajuro, I think, and then he was called the
The
Demon?
the demon of the demon of the Western Province, and on Musashi's way, he was on a boat, and he was just carved a boken out of a paddle,
An
Mhm.
oar,
and
yeah.
an oar. And when he got there, he left his like wakizashi,
he
his katana,
realized.
and he left his actual blades on the boat.
Yeah.
And then when he gets there to fight the demon of the Western Province, he realized he has a boken,
Yeah.
and it
Carried
didn't
his
stop
ass
him.
and killed him.
He still ended up beating his ass. Like couple hits, he was
With a training sword.
with a training sword, a wooden sword. And then after he writes down, even
Death can be
Death
with the
can be-
wooden sword, I think is what it said.
Mhm.
Death
Yeah.
can come from a wooden
death
sword.
can come
Yeah.
from a wooden sword. That's just badass.
I know. Is that in the 5 rings?
I'm not sure if it's in the 5 rings.
Okay.
But he definitely wrote it down.
Yeah.
That's crazy to have the skill with the sword to be able to
Beat a man with a wooden sword while they have, and not just a normal.
Yeah, it's
man,
not like he's just
normal
yeah.
samurai.
It's
He
not like
was-
he's a samurai who doesn't know how to fight and isn't that good of a swordsman. He's like extremely good from what I know.
I mean, he had a title. He was called the Demon of the Western Province. So
Yeah, so I'm guessing that has to mean he's at least a really good
I'm sure
samurai.
he was also probably up there in his KD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I got something. I want you to relate to kind of what we talked about if you could. What do you think about, you can actually compare it to what we were just talking about. About him being a kensei. And you can kind of relate that, like the black belt and the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because that's what probably the demon was. He was probably just, high level black belt, but a kensei, sword saint.
Yeah.
It's a master of masters. You can talk about that.
Yeah, so Miyamoto Musashi was basically a sword saint, and what a sword saint is not just a high. It's because there's different ranks in
Yeah.
the samurai world,
Mhm.
and a kensei was like the higher up than like your master. Say you're in jujitsu, and then there's black belts, and they're like teaching a class, but then above them you have like the Rice brothers, and they're not just normal black belts.
Mhm.
They're some of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And that's basically what a kensei was. And
Masters of masters.
like a master of a master.
Mhm.
And that's who Miyamoto Musashi was.
Mhm.
He was a kensei.
Yeah.
He was
big-
a kensei, samurai, but also a ronin.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
was like all those things
Yeah.
in one.
That's
throughout
awesome.
his
life.
That's
Crazy.
awesome to have all those titles, man. It's hella
Throughout your
sick.
life, yeah.
That's crazy.
And maybe talk about the wording of that title, Kensei, Sword Saint.
Sword
right?
saint. Yeah. Kensei translates to sword saint.
Mhm.
Someone who was like a saint with a sword. It has like holy meaning.
Like a great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Something also that Musashi had wrote was the Dokudo, and I think we talked about it a little bit, but not too much.
We briefly mentioned it.
So basically, what the Dokudo is, it's kind of like the 21. Was it like the 21 rules of life for him?
Yeah, his
Principles?
21 principles
21 like precepts or principles.
Mhm.
Yeah, for his life.
Mhm.
that he
So-
followed.
Yeah, so I mean, there's one about don't get. It's not no. Don't like. I'm not saying this word for word, but ballpark. One of the ones that he said was like, it said, don't get used to the taste of good tasting foods. It doesn't obviously doesn't go
Oh,
like
don't
that.
don't eat for the taste of foods or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like that because
This means don't pursue gluttony. Gluttony was one of the 7 deadly sins. So
Mhm.
yeah, because candy's good, but is candy good
Good
for you
for
if
you,
it's
no.
the only thing that you eat?
no,
No.
not at all.
There's another one. There was the last one was don't stop like pursuing the way of the way.
Don't stray.
Don't stray
s-
away.
Don't stray from the way.
Yeah, so basically these, we won't read all 21, but it was these rules / principles of what he kind of lived by and what is probably one of the biggest things that history has left behind for us.
Yeah, I mean, all the rules from the Dokudo kind of have the basic principles of what Bushido follows.
Mhm.
It's consistency, it's discipline, it's honor, it's righteousness.
Mhm.
It's following those things.
Yeah.
And that's kind of Miyamoto Musashi built his own way.
Mhm.
Because he wasn't one to just block out all these other ways. Like
Yeah.
we said earlier, with the word the way, it's from like Taoism.
Yeah.
That's from China. He took from all these different philosophies and molded it and made his own.
Yeah, because if we can learn from Miyamoto Musashi, which was 400 years ago, Taoism was way before
Way before him.
Musashi. So if we're able to learn from Musashi, who's dead for like 400 years now, then Musashi is able to learn from the Tao Te Ching,
Yeah.
like Tao times. So, yeah. So I think that's pretty cool because you can always learn. Doesn't matter like how long ago that person died. Like Seabass,
Wisdom's timeless.
yeah, Seabass, one of his
Philosophy's
biggest role
all
models,
timeless.
Bruce Lee. When he was learning about him as a little kid, Seabass didn't even know that he was dead, and he found out he was dead. Like that just shows how inspirational one can be. If you are looking up to someone and you don't even know that they're dead, that just shows like how good they actually were, like how how wise they were, how much knowledge they gave out to the world. And you don't even know that they're dead because you just think they're out and alive and just enjoying life.
I've got a quote that Devin can add to what you just said if you wanted. It's Bruce Lee said, "The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering."
Yeah, the key, as Bruce Lee said, the key to immortality is first living a life that's
Worthy of remembering.
worthy of remembering.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just leaving that like footstep behind,
The legacy.
the legacy, the
Mhm.
legend.
That
Mhm.
makes you immortal.
Yeah, it'll make you immortal because people will always remember you, like Musashi, like Marcus Aurelius.
Mhm.
They left such a big impact
Mhm.
on like philosophy that people still talk about them. People still learn from them today.
People still adapt their school of thoughts.
Yeah, people still adapt their school of thoughts.
And that's what I want for like this podcast to be with us. Like I want to leave behind a good, either if it's like a good message or like a good legacy for either the podcast to continue on or for people to be able to look up to us. Like even when I die, I want people to still remember me for who I was and for that kid who started the path of character at a young age and kept with it, throughout adversity, throughout high school, throughout,
Life.
just throughout life. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's one of my biggest goals. That's also one of our biggest goals with this podcast because originally in our first pod we had said that we're not filming these pod episodes for the views. We're filming it for
To hold ourselves accountable,
Yeah.
and also help people down the road or
Yeah.
anyone who's just gonna watch this.
yeah, word for word.
Mhm.
Word for word. I'm pretty sure that you said that. What was it you said? You said we're filming these for what you just said for people down the road, and hopefully we can talk to guests and
Mhm.
learn from
yeah.
them.
One of our main things was about guests and
Mhm.
getting on different like these different great warriors, or just even talking about these different great warriors.
Yeah.
Because our name is All My Friends Are Warriors.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
speaking of that, just the other night, actually, we posted on our Insta. We posted a story thanking for all the support from you guys. I think we just hit 230 subs on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for that. But one of the people who liked that story was Andre
Berto.
Berto.
Andre Berto, and
Yeah.
we're like just now learning about him and starting to learn more about him because this sparked our interest. But Andre Berto was a great warrior. He was a boxer. He fought during Floyd Mayweather's like time and era,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually boxed Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Floyd
Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
Money Mayweather. Yeah.
Money Mayweather.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
still butchered it.
it's crazy because you never know who you could inspire or who could see your things because
Mhm.
we had no idea that someone with what was it, almost
770
800,000
Yeah,
followers. Yeah, some former UFC fighter with 800,000 followers.
Boxer.
Oh yeah, boxer was gonna like our Instagram post.
Hey, we all butchered something this pod.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, but yeah, we don't even have a big following. I think we have like 260 on Insta, and we reached somebody who has 770 million.
Mm-hmm.
1,000.
That's, it was
God, that
1,000?
Yeah.
1,000. Yeah.
I don't think anyone on Instagram has 770 million. No one has that. You know why? Because how many? Well,
Let me look at the world population.
yeah, it would be enough for that.
Yeah,
It's
I-
enough, but like that's the majority of the world.
Just edit 1,000 over what I was saying.
Yeah.
With robot voice, it's my
Yeah.
No. You know the sound effect? We'll have Tazio after this pod be like 1,000, and then he'll put that voice over Devin's. That'd be so
do
funny.
that.
But he probably, everyone had a starting point, so he probably remembered what it was like to not have a big following.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I'm sure he came from nothing to something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So-
there's this podcast with these kids who, one of their videos was trying a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
What's that podcast name?
MD Foodie Boys.
MD Foodie Boys, and they have like what 89,000 followers,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, shout out to them though. Good for you guys. And
Yeah.
we're not trying to bash or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Their lore
Um,
goes crazy.
Yeah, their lore goes crazy, but I mean that just goes to show like, there's multiple different podcasts, and I think that just shows that we can.
You could,
One of these days, our videos are going to blow up.
yeah, one video can spark and it could blow up.
Just do
Yeah.
it because you love it, and that's all.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're doing. The MD Foodie Boys. They have a podcast about like eating food, and
Yeah,
they don't care about any of the hate.
Yeah.
They're doing what they're doing because it's fun. They enjoy it.
Mhm.
They find like
they find joy in
you're-
it.
they find joy in it.
Yeah, like there's this one kid. What's his name? Like PJ
Chub perm.
Chub Perm
Chub perm.
gets hate every single time. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
Like,
I
he
mean,
just does.
I
what
don't
he
even think
wants.
it's hate at this point. It's
Yeah,
like
it's just like a
lore.
joke.
It's
yeah.
like deep lore.
I mean,
Yeah.
and
I want deep lore to be created about our podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, lore has been created about you guys. It's just smaller.
yeah.
Like
We
there's
had-
the cranium, Megamon.
Oh,
Never mind. And
Like-
honestly, like the hate just kind of gets funniest at one point.
Yeah,
like,
and no matter what podcast we do, we're gonna get hate. Whether it's a podcast about doing good, we're gonna get hate. Whether it's a podcast about doing bad, they're gonna be like, "Of course, these Gen Z is trying to do bad. Of course."
Aristotle quote, say it as
Oh yeah, if
The Jackson quote.
yeah, there's this Aristotle quote, and it's if you don't want to be, and it's gonna be something along the lines of, if you don't want to get judged, say nothing, do nothing.
If you
Was that
wanna
it?
Get
yeah.
judged.
You don't want to be criticized. Say nothing. Do nothing.
Yeah, if you don't want to be criticized, say nothing, do nothing. So no matter what you do in life, if you're
There's
doing
always
something
gonna be
productive,
somebody that's
there's
gonna-
gonna be someone who's hating on you.
Yeah.
At the end
Just
of the
like
day, you're a peach.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
man.
Jackson Stevens, Jaden's little brother said, "It's gonna be a peach.
yeah.
Yeah.
People might not like you. People might like you."
It's funny because
But you're gonna be yourself.
that pod was the very first pod we ever had a guest on. It was my little brother, and it has the most views out of
Yeah. Over 3,000 views now.
over 3,000 views. Eventually,
Congrats to Jackson.
no, because eventually, we're gonna have so many views. Like, say we end up getting like 50,000 views, we're gonna think, "Oh man, we only got 3,000 views." Well, right now we got, "Oh man, 3,000 views! Like hell yeah, this is awesome."
Mhm.
Hella people are sharing it. Like that's the cool thing about growing is like, the numbers you're at now are gonna be so low compared to the numbers that you're gonna be.
You're gonna
at.
be able to see your progress.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
the journey.
Zoom out. Zoom out.
Yeah,
when
when in doubt, zoom out, and you can see where you started from and where you're at now.
hmm
I
You gotta love the journey, not the destination.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we want to leave behind from this podcast is like the footstep. It's the legacy, like what Miyamoto Musashi left behind.
Yeah.
Where people are still talking about him, people are still learning from him to this
Right.
day.
Yeah.
And something that helped me Miyamoto Musashi that we could all take from Musashi to talk about was his ability to be indifferent on things. Like he was indifferent on food.
Yeah, he
Oh yeah,
Favorite
where you
class,
live.
guys talk about that?
Yeah, Miyamoto Musashi was very indifferent on things. Seabass brought up how he was indifferent on food. I bet he was indifferent on how, like, what his legacy became. He wrote the Five Rings, the scrolls. I'm sure he didn't think it was gonna like blow up and become like
On the spot.
on
Yeah.
this pod, but he still did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
so he
and-
could teach other people.
yeah.
He
so-
didn't care about if it was gonna impact the whole world.
Mhm.
He did it for like himself.
Yeah, he found joy in it, and that's something that we really try to put out on this podcast is, there's happiness, but then there's joy, which joy is much more valuable than happiness because happiness is a feeling, and
Joy is
Joy
that
is-
bulletproof happiness.
Yeah,
It'll
joy is-
stay.
joys will stay. And obviously, because of the legacy that Miyamoto Musashi left behind, it's pretty obvious to tell that he was joyful more than happy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was happy because everyone's gonna have happiness, but like
Yeah.
his main thing was joy because he did what he loved, and that's what we try to say on this podcast: is
Yeah.
do what you love. and you will succeed no matter if people
Unless it's Fent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just saying.
He did what he loved, killing
Yeah.
62 people.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead, Sid.
yes.
He did what he loved, killing 62 men brutally
Well,
in one-on-one combat.
yeah. I was wondering earlier, I was going to ask, but I didn't. When he, in some of his fights, probably not all of them, but like, would people watch him?
I'm sure some will watch.
Like
They're
some duels,
They're
yeah.
duels, so like
So like, it would be set up, and it would be like, okay,
Well, like
Musashi,
when he was a
like-
samurai and in the clan, I'm sure there was duels set up. Because when you're training, you have to fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
You fight alongside. You're not fight
what would the
alongside.
what would the you can repeat this? What would the pay-per-view be for a what would the pay-per-view numbers be for a Musashi fight?
The
Oh,
pay-per-view
the pay-
numbers for a
Oh
Musashi
my
fight.
gosh! Whatever
Bigger
the
than
world,
Logan
what,
Paul's
Yeah.
numbers?
whatever the
That's-
world population is, that's how many people would watch it.
All right, I'm looking it up.
You know
Oh,
how,
Tazia's
you know how,
looking
like,
it up.
getting Trump to go to the Super Bowl, getting the president to go to the Super Bowl is like a crazy thing, and that was like groundbreaking. A Musashi fight would get all the different world leaders. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
They would all come out to it.
And I guarantee I put all my money on it. Even the people who are not even like super educated on, the different philosophies, if they hear big time old samurai, greatest swordsman of all time, came back to life to fight the best swordsman alive right now. Even if I wasn't into philosophy, I would be like, "Whoa."
I mean that
Yeah.
that perk
That
your ears.
that would still catch my eye, and I would want to watch that for sure.
What weight class do you think he is? You think he's middle? Like,
Probably
mid to light heavyweight probably.
Yeah.
If he's somewhat Jaden stature,
Yeah.
like 6 foot.
Yeah.
And 500 pounds.
Whatever.
he's the same one.
Well, it's weird because one scale will say I'm 198, one scale will say I'm 185. So it's kind of big roller coaster. Anyways,
So you would need a stadium big enough to fit 8 billion people.
that's what
So
it
that's
says.
the whole world basically.
8 billion people.
Yeah.
I wonder what the world population was at that time.
At that
I
time.
don't know.
I don't think they had the same kind of
Metrics.
yeah, they didn't keep track of world populations at that time.
Well, then,
Okay, yeah.
if there weren't records, I don't believe in Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah.
Little Charlie Kirk action.
No, that was Cliff. That was Cliff.
Oh, Cliff.
yeah.
My bad, Cliff.
Yeah, I mistook that too.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's another thing. There were no records. Our records are the 5 rings, the Dokudo.
But what is literally in front of us are the records that
Yeah,
he lived.
exactly.
He had a legacy. It was great.
Sorry, there were no pictures, but cameras weren't a thing.
There's paintings of him?
There was probably paintings
Yeah.
of them. I think his school,
What about it?
his school training.
I think they did. You guys talked about his school, right?
No,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about his school. We
Oh.
talked about how his grandfather and his father had like a school.
And by school you mean sword fighting school.
A
Yeah,
s-
yeah,
yeah,
like
sword
an
fighting
academy,
school.
like a
Samurai school.
samurai school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had his own school. What was it?
That's what the 5 rings were for.
Mm.
So that's what the schools.
The
were
scrolls
for.
were
It's his artist strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would
Okay,
walk
so
in
that's
and you'd
like-
see the scrolls. Okay,
They're for his, his,
That's kind of like what our character club does. We kind of copied that.
yeah, I'm Musashi, essentially.
Seabass
Yeah.
is Musashi.
Seabass. Yeah, exactly. Seabass is a Kensei.
Seabass versus Musashi.
Did I get a gun or?
Seabass with a gun or Musashi with a katana.
How far away am I?
You're
Point blank.
you're 6 feet away.
He's parrying the bullet.
6 feet away is like the optimal, like the chance of you dying with a knife. That's
I mean,
being
what was
dying
their
with a knife
metric
and
of measuring? What was it called?
Shaku.
Shaku. That's what 6 shaku away. Because a shaku is about a foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A
about
katana is about 3 shaku long
Mm-hmm.
at the longest.
at
At
the
the
How many
longest.
shakus does Musashi?
Si-
Um,
6.
It was about
Six.
6.
because
shakus.
shakus are about 1 foot.
yeah.
So
In translation to us. So when you think of shaku, think or 1 shaku, 1 foot. So imagine Musashi was 6 shaku, so that's 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He talked
give or
about,
take
like,
6 feet. Yeah.
How a lot of his training was extremely unorthodox. Like it wasn't like
Oh.
the standard way of fighting. And that probably gave him an edge. And even it translated into his life. Like he didn't keep his hair nice. His hair
Oh,
all
yeah.
messy,
When
so-
did Musashi like have his own school? When was that? Was that
Probably
still
during
under his
Ronin times.
during his Ronin times? So yeah, then I assume it.
He decided to be like, well, as a samurai, I'm
It'd
gonna
be-
open up a school.
Yeah, it'd be definitely unorthodox because his Ronin times was kind of where he created his own way and his own like art
Yeah.
with the blade.
That's
Mhm.
when he became like quote unquote in his prime.
Yeah, that's where he became the Kensei, the sword saint. He opened his own school and he taught other people with the 5 scrolls.
Mhm.
The 5
Yeah, and
rings.
And his training was quite unorthodox, and that probably leads to why, and a lot of people don't know this, but he actually, like, in Japanese culture, you expect someone to be, nicely put together. They all kind of wear the same hair, same clothes.
Oh yeah, samurais were supposed to be very neat,
Mhm.
Yeah.
clean,
Uniform.
uniform.
And Miyamoto Musashi was just like long hair, like
Long
he wasn't like the others, but so he's Miyamoto Musashi.
He'll do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah,
Long hair don't care.
long hair don't care, So
His school was called. It says, and butchering pronunciation here. Hyoho Niten Ichi Ryu.
Nioho
Hyoho
Hyoho Noto.
Niten Ichi Ryu.
I'm not gonna try to say that again.
Niten
Zane
Ichi
can,
Ryu.
like-
Niten Ichi Ryu.
Nitin
Yes,
Ichi
Neat.
Rio.
Niten.
Zane will like edit the name like
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
We'll get an AI recording of your voice that says it correctly.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was the name of his school.
Yeah, Niten Ichi Ryu, and it's still practiced to this day.
It's still practiced to this day.
Yeah, it became
That's awesome.
tradition. So
Mhm.
We should make
Okay.
that bucket list. We should all go to Japan and
I'd be down.
join one of the classes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
sick.
so-
that.
Spoken, we can train it. It's
they
like
do
kendo.
that.
That would be
They have classes for foreigners where you learn how to do swordsmanship.
It's like
That's
kendo.
so awesome.
That's sick.
We should do like a
That's-
vlog about that because I know you always talk about doing vlogs.
Yeah,
Vlog a day or a trip of
travel.
travel going to. I don't even want to try and pronounce the school, but Miyamoto Musashi's school.
Yeah, something else we should talk about. One thing also cool about Musashi is he's not that old, but in terms of what we talked about, but he actually lived in the Edo period, and Edo is now modern day Tokyo.
Edo is modern day Tokyo.
So I mean, he just lived. It's like imagine being like, yeah, he lived in Tokyo when it was still called Edo.
Okay, so 400 years ago, Tokyo was called Edo, and he lived in that area.
Yeah, it was the Edo period.
So that's
Edo period.
Edo period.
Okay.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah.
People are just in Tokyo and
All of a sudden,
Not.
I
and
mean,
then
we're in the Gulf of America
we're
at a period now.
yeah
You know all that.
we're in the Gulf of America now. It's not the Gulf of Mexico,
Mexico
anymore.
anymore.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
a whole nother period.
Different
Google
period of
Maps
time.
has already accepted it.
Google Maps has already accepted it.
It was like just overnight. I feel like
Yeah.
immediately changed.
Immediate.
Yeah, I mean that's probably something that happened with same thing with Edo. One day someone's like,
Yeah,
it's Tokyo.
it's
now."
Tokyo
It's
now.
Tokyo now. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you're just walking through the streets of Tokyo. You see all the billboards and all the screens.
The buildings.
And then all of a sudden you see this 6-foot jacked samurai with 2 swords walking around. Just imagine that. Obviously, like that's not what we were saying, but that's what just came to my mind.
Well, you could also point out that like the the Joe Rogan joke where he brings up that like humans can live to be 100. If he lived 400 years ago, that's 4 people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Assuming
Oh,
they
yeah.
lived to their maximum age, that's 4 people ago.
it's not long ago.
That
4
that
generations.
is
yeah.
not if you live to 100, and that's 400 somewhat years ago.
4 feet.
Four generations,
It
4
make-
people.
It makes it seem like he's not even that old.
He's not.
No,
Yeah,
He's not.
yeah.
He's really not.
He's really not. 4 people ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What age did Musashi die to? And I'm pretty sure, with my research that I've done, with the stuff that I've learned, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I think he died to some type of lung cancer or some
Just natural causes.
just natural causes.
probably.
I'm
Mhm.
not sure if it was lung cancer, but that's what.
He actually wrote the fun fact. He wrote the Dokudo somewhat close to when he died. He wrote
Really?
it like before he died,
Okay, that's
probably
cool.
a couple of years
His
before.
final piece.
Years before. It was his final piece of work. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any more pieces of work that like we don't know about that might have either like
Came from Musashi.
I mean,
came
I
from
bet so.
Musashi.
It's possible.
I'd
Yeah.
imagine so. I mean,
I bet
I-
there's that with all philosophers like
Yeah,
like
stuff-
Marcus.
yeah, stuff they've
Aurelius.
written down, but just was never found and translated.
Or
Might have
it was
just-
in their head, but they never wrote it
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's it? Yeah, well, that's also crazy to think. What was in their head, but they just never wrote it down.
Mhm.
That's crazy to think. That'd be awesome to know one of these days.
Yeah.
If you guys got to talk to Miyamoto Musashi, not for too long, for 5 minutes, what would
For
you guys
5
say?
minutes?
5 minutes.
That's a hard question.
That's a
Yeah.
I would try and like spitball as many questions as I could. in, like,
Yeah.
5 minutes at a time.
Uh,
Like,
I would.
see, I don't even know where to like begin with those questions I would ask him.
That's yeah. I would ask him.
Yeah, I need,
something
like,
about,
A day of preparation.
yeah.
Yeah, to
and
think.
then hit me up on that offer again.
okay, I got you.
Yeah. Actually, the same. Same here.
Got it. I'd probably ask it. Yeah,
One of the
that's a tricky
questions.
question.
One of the questions that.
Killing a man.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Yeah, what's it like killing a man at 13
What
years
was
old?
it like seeing a man's soul fade away from his body?
And then
62 times.
continuing on and going to kill someone, like, guarantee you, sometimes like the next day.
Let's have him on the pod.
Yeah.
Let's tag him in this.
5 minute tag me Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So you asked, so I looked it up. He died at 61 years old.
Okay.
61.
And you were right, it was lung cancer.
Okay.
Lung cancer. Okay. So 61 years old, and he died due to lung cancer. That's what we know.
So
Tom Brady does not have.
how old he was? That's crazy.
That's
That's
oh,
just crazy.
That's on him at all. 7 Super Bowls. Tom Brady went to 10 Super Bowls, won 7. Musashi fought 62,
With one life.
won 62
With one life.
with one
With
life.
one life.
That's crazy. So
And
who's the real goat? Musashi.
By
You
far.
gotta
Yeah.
think of how many of those kills were squad wipes too.
Yeah. Squad wipe kills? No, because that's just the one-on-one like combat. So think about how many
War.
guys he killed in war,
Yeah.
like in the battle.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
Mhm.
Shikigara.
Shikigara, yeah.
I got that name.
Yeah.
Almost.
We'll get it someday. Anyway, so yeah, Tom Brady got nothing on him. Patrick Mahomes not even close. What do you guys think? Like, out of all the philosophers that were into the martial arts, would Miyamoto Musashi be the guy on top? Would he kind
would
of
rank
destroy
him
everyone?
on-
Like, do we know anyone?
It depends. Like
Him?
fist fighting.
Are we talking sword fight?
Just
Yeah.
like life or
Fine,
death. Like,
fist.
use your things that you have
Oh,
around you.
okay. Yeah,
Because
I
he was
mean-
a
Talks about
master
it.
in
He was a
all
master
different
in all
types.
weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if it was in like the Dokudo or a quote, but he said to be able to only use a certain amount of weapons is the same as not knowing how to use a weapon. So if you only know how to use these certain weapons, it's the same as you not knowing how to use this weapon.
Yeah, he was a master of all weapons.
Yeah, so
It was
Talk to
That's
Okay.
actually really good
So
to know.
they had
I've
like
always
different tiers. Okay, so they had different tiers of the weapons that they used. How many headshot kills do you think he has with the bow?
thought. Yeah. I don't know. That's a great question. Anyways,
Like,
yeah.
Jacob? Never
So yeah,
know.
I have a question. I'm kind of confused because the die show is like your 3 swords, right? The three
Yeah, it's the set of 3 swords.
yeah.
yeah.
When you go to duel someone, do you just have those 3 swords? Like, do you get to choose your die show?
I mean,
Like,
I mean, it'll
whatever
probably-
is comfortable to put on your fit on your body. I'm guessing. Like if you could put sheaths and like somehow strap on your body. Like I know, like I'm not saying Musashi's like a Ninja Turtle, but like how Leonardo, like he'd put the sword
Yeah,
on
in
his
the
back
back,
right
yeah.
there, and there would be
Whatever's efficient for you to carry.
yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever is
He
comfortable,
probably
whatever
had
weighs
2 at his hip.
less, whatever.
So there's samurai got the status symbol of the die show where they were allowed to carry both swords on them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
So what would happen if like a different
Like someone
You
who's
would
not
be-
a samurai had both.
You would be
Like a
charged
knight.
with impersonating a samurai and get killed.
This blasphemy. One of the rules in his Dokudo was
Respect. I think it's like
respecting Buddha and the gods, but not relying on them.
Mhm.
It's like we've mentioned this in prior pods, where we respect and we believe in God, but we don't
Rely on him to solve
rely
Yeah.
on him to solve all of our problems. We don't pray to him every
Yeah.
time we're in need and every time we need help.
Yeah. And then, but when we do pray, we pray how Bruce Lee prays, which is praying for the strength to get through the adversity.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
I-
God wants you to.
Go ahead.
God wants you to live like a virtuous life, and if He has to do everything for you, then it takes no effort. It's not really virtuous.
Exactly.
He's just holding your hand through it all, and you never really grow.
And you're kind of just using him, which is not pretty. It's not virtuous.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean, I think you said it on the Faith Pod, Jaden. If we're only talking to, or if we're only praying to God, if we're in a time of adversity, then we're actually just using Him. As for if we're not just praying to Him just to talk to Him and have a conversation with Him, but if we're just talking to Him because we're going through something and something's happening, that something bad is happening to us, then we're actually not communicating with Him. It's just we need His help, and in a sense, you would kind of just be using Him if you're only
Yeah.
talking to Him. If
Right.
you're in,
If you need help.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying.
hmm
But, anyways, any more like questions from the audience?
I think you guys covered a lot.
That was I love that episode. That was a great episode. I knew
That,
was
that
gonna
was so much to cover.
I
'Cause he has
know.
such a legacy.
Yeah,
I
such a
know,
large
it's so-
impact on things.
be awesome.
And you're talking about things that not a lot of people touch on when it comes to the conversation about Musashi.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one ever really talks about is how many headshot kills he has
Yeah, because
with
when
the bow.
when people talk about Musashi, it's usually like, oh yeah, there's a samurai, you know,
Ronin,
62
62
men,
and 0.
Mhm.
and that's pretty much like all that gets brought up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we were able to kind of dive deeper into the way he lived and some of the things that went.
What he
Down.
lived by is history.
Yeah. So I like that. That was a good
Yeah,
episode.
we covered quite.
I
a
mean,
bit
is there
about
anything,
him.
is there anything else that you guys would like to say, or
Um,
No.
are we good?
I'm good.
Good to set this one off.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, go follow us on Insta, and peace out.